coming up, what's the name of your bear?
I think it's Harry. It's Flea-Ridden, and Annabelle went to put it in her mouth. I was like, no, that is never being washed.
We've got nits. And it was like in the old school, like Western movies where you kind of go into a saloon and everyone just like looks at you. It was like that.
She'd sit and talk to us and she'd get her floss out and like fling it. And I'd be like, oh, sorry,
that's
Granny.
Disgusting. Oh, no.
And I was like, let me tell you, Granny, in 10 years, with your inheritance, I'm going to be getting my soul lasered.
Welcome to No Parental Guidance, the podcast where we celebrate parenting fails so you don't have to feel so bad about your own. I'm Louise.
And I'm Hannah. And we've got another round of stories that will make you laugh, cringe, and maybe feel a little bit less alone. So I need you to make me feel normal because I need to get this off my chest. When we went on holiday in the summer, my husband, as you know, had his appendix out. He's been on a low residue diet, which means he can't eat much fibre. We went to Portugal. We went into a supermarket and this woman said, excuse me, and it doesn't happen that often, but she's like, are you Hannah East? Do you do the podcast?
Yeah.
And I said, yes. And she's like, with Louise? She's like, oh, me and my husband love it. We listen to it. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Now, my husband, when he shops, takes a really long time. And we were like getting water, bread, everything for the fridge. We just arrived, long flight, kids were kicking off. Bradley and Logan were playing football at the front of the supermarket where all the alcohol is. So they got told off by a man in the shop. So they came over and they're like, Mummy, the man in the shop told us off. And I was like, right, well, stop kicking footballs in the shop. Like, this is embarrassing. Annabelle's trying to climb out. She's learned to unclip her pushchair. I can't have her roaming because she just turned 2 and she'd pull everything off the shelves. My husband was stood there going, babe, what shall we eat tonight? I was like, let's just go out for dinner tonight. Like, we're on holiday. We'll just go out for dinner. That's what we do every night. And he's like, well, I can't eat too much fibre, but now I need to eat fibre. But I can't read the packaging because it's in Portuguese. And I could see that he was like really stressing about fibre. So I was like, Bradley, Logan, just come and stand with Mummy for a minute. And they're like, because we just got on holiday. And I was like, honestly, and this lady had just spoken to me talking about our amazing podcast, like and subscribe, obs. And basically, my husband had a tantrum with me. Now, we've been together for 17 years. We very rarely argue. But honestly, we had a disagreement and he shouted at me in the shop. So he turned around, he was like, Hannah, and had this packet of pasta. And he was like, I just need more fibre. But he like gritted his teeth at me. But do you know in that moment where I was like, I didn't know if he was being serious or not because it's really out of character for him. So the first thing I did, obviously, was just absolutely wet myself laughing. I keeled forward because of the whole situation and I was really laughing. And the kids were laughing because I was laughing and I was like, I just need more fibre. But then I realised he was being serious. So we had a disagreement in a supermarket in Portugal.
With someone watching you.
With somebody watching. But I don't know who this lady is because I can't remember. I was so embarrassed because it looked like he was really angry and shouting at me. And you know, when you're like that, I looked at Bradley, I was like, go and get a pizza out of the freezer. We're leaving.
Go get some All Bran. There's a lot of fibre in that.
And then I realised that Andy had my purse, my money and my phone in this bag. So I got to the front and I queued and I was looking around, I could see my husband and I was like, you know, and you're like, well, I'm not speaking to you for the next few hours. So then I had to wait for him to come to give me some money for us to leave the shop. And you know, when you walk outside and you're like, this is like having 3 children, having a 4-hour flight. This is just awful. It was a moment in my life where I was like, and because we argued in front of the kids.
It's meant to be a relaxing time. And sometimes we go on holiday, it's just same different postcode.
I was honestly about to get some high fibre pasta and shove it up his arse at that point because I was like, there's your fibre.
There's your fibre.
But I was like, I've got to appreciate that stressing him out and it's all in Portuguese, so he didn't know. But it's just in that moment, I'm like, but we're just normal people. Like every family is the same. Some people can hide it, but I know if I'm getting frustrated, if I grit my teeth.
Yeah.
And I came out the shop and I was like, that's a parenting fail. How could I have handled that better? You know, the kids seen us argue and have a disagreement, but actually that's life, isn't it? And we all do it.
Yeah, we all do it. That is life. You know, you're in a really beautiful location and you spent thousands of pounds to be there, to make these wonderful, special moments. And they're like, I'm bored. And you're like, right. You're like, can I have your phone? You're like, no. Yeah. Oh my God, no. Like taking the scenery. And they're like, I'm bored.
It's like, you are so lucky to be on this holiday. I would never have got to a place like this when I was your age.
Exactly.
Like that.
I didn't go abroad till I was 13 years old. My holidays were in Bournemouth.
It's like, do you know how exciting it is to be on an aeroplane?
Exactly.
And they're just like that.
Oh,
yeah, can I have my iPad?
Yeah. Oh, I know. But we did a lot of other things in London as well.
Yeah.
Over the summer. And one of the things, in fact, this is a parenting fail that happened a few years ago when I was potty training one of my children. And there was one amazing bit of stuff that was a car. It was a beautiful old school car, like one of those like racing cars. And it clearly says, do not touch the car. And in the moment of like one kid running that way, run over there, husband's probably on the toilet. My kid who was learning how to potty train was in the car.
Okay.
I think you know where this is going.
Oh no.
Not a poo, just all over it. And
how old was the car? Like really vintage kind of?
Proper vintage, like one of a kind.
Absorbing
urine. Do not
urine.
touch the car. Do not pass this rope. My kid's right in there. All over it. So and you see other people kind of like giving you the side eye, like, I don't think that should be happening. Yeah.
It's in a vintage car. I mean, I wonder how much the car was worth.
I dread to think.
Now it just smells of sugar puffs.
Yeah. The sugar puffs
Oh,
always come
Louise
back.
has been with the kids.
So you've heard our parenting fails, and we love hearing about your parenting fails. And we've got some here, as always. So we're going to read these out. And this is the part I love, because it's just, I love getting really into these fails and knowing that it's not just us.
Yes.
And we've got this one from Anonymous.
But thank you.
Right, here we go. It was my first outing out with my 2-year-old and the newborn. Everything was going fine until halfway home. Toddler hits full meltdown mode and refuses to walk. I'm already carrying the baby, so picking him up isn't an option. Cue full-on panic. Ended up grabbing him by the reins and carrying him home like a kind of awkward human backpack. And of course, the postman was watching the whole thing.
Obviously.
I mean, do you know what? You are not alone. You're not alone, my love. It happens daily, actually. I see parents all the time just like grabbing children, carrying them. And I always give them a nice knowing look as if to say, I know, I've been there. I'm still there sometimes. And it does get easy. But it is the panic. It's the sweats. And if you've got shopping bags as well to add to the chaos.
Yeah.
Imagine adding a dog as well.
Well, don't you? It's interesting because I put Annabelle and I've put all 3 kids in reins because I need to see where they are. And some people really disagree with reins. And when we were on holiday in the summer, Annabelle had like a full-on swimsuit on and a life jacket on, and she had an inflatable ring around her tummy to keep her up, because I find that the life jackets are great, but that they could fall backwards and forwards. So she was fully suited up, and all I said was, Andy, can you watch Annabelle? Because I went to have a wee. And obviously the 2 boys wanted to come with me while I had a wee. So I was like, Andy, could you... But he's in the middle of a conversation about his low residue diet with a member of the public. So he was busy chatting. And as I turned around, Annabelle had gone from where Andy was to the other end of the deep end at the pool, ran around the pool. My anxiety levels were so high. And the first thing I thought about was, everyone around the pool can see that it looks as if I've just left my daughter to go to the toilet. But the other thing was, I was like, I should have just put her in the reins so Andy could like hold on to her. But it's all, and then I ran to grab her and I was like, Annabelle, like running after her. I was like, go to daddy. And my husband's like, looking round. And I was like, babe, she was at the deep end. And he was like, God, she's so quick, isn't she?
Oh,
and I'm like, hazard,
No
danger. Like, can we just be careful? We have a 2-year-old here, and she would just jump in at the deep end. And I took her back, and there was another mum there by the pool, because you make friends, obviously, on holiday, don't you? And this other mum was like, do you want me to watch her while you go to the toilet? And
classic, standard, kind of like...
Her father is there.
They say it takes a village.
Yeah, and I was like, actually...
Yeah.
Michelle, would you mind? Because then I could just have a wee in peace.
Yeah,
So.
God, that's quite frightening.
Yeah.
Do your kids do this? Because my eldest does this, and I don't know if he does it because he's trying to shock me, or if it's just he's just practicing how long he can hold his breath.
Oh God, yeah.
But he will go in the water and he will hold his breath, but he'll also be doing it like, what's that word? Like a starfish.
Yeah. But they like move a little bit.
But he looks...
Don't they?
He looks dead.
And then they go, as you're about to dive in.
And but I'm watching going, are you, like, do I? And then like, I'll be like, Jessie, And you're just like, oh, can you? And then he's like, he can hold his breath for a really long time because he loves diving. He loves like deep sea diving. And so he's like practicing to hold his breath. But in the meantime, I'm panicking going, are you actually alive in the sea? It's horrible. And I see lots of other kids doing it where they're just kind of like holding their breath in the water. And all the parents like, oh my God. Yeah, I don't like it.
I actually went into I used to be a lifeguard, and I actually went into...
Hannah, sorry, I've got to say, I'm learning so much about you on this podcast. You've been a lifeguard, you're a gladiator, you're a presenter. There is so much. Like, I kind of feel like you're going to say all these things. It's amazing.
But what happened this day in particular, when I was a lifeguard, because I was a swimming coach, you had to have your lifeguard qualification.
Yes, of course.
But one day I was going out with the girls, right? I was 17. I'd passed my driving test. I used to take the girls to McDonald's so we could get like a hot apple pie and stuff at lunchtime. And we were going out that night, so I'd spiraled my hair. You know, we used to do like curl your hair, but it was like a tight spiral, and you'd never brush it out to smooth it out. It'd just be a crust from your hairspray. So I'd done all my hair, super noodles, literally looked like a pot noodle. And I had this shift, and I thought, right, this money will pay for like all the aftershocks for us girls tonight in Lamborghini. And then I looked and I saw this kid, and he was holding his breath, so I was like, all right, it's fine. And then this kid was holding its breath for ages, looking like a mushroom in the pool. And I was like, I don't know if he's playing, but this is a long time. And I knew he was a good swimmer. So I thought, if something happens, like I need to go in. And when you go in, you like have to tap your hip, get your alarm, throw it out. It's really dramatic. It's quite a fun process. And I was like, I'm going in. And like, running towards the pool, dived in. And as I dived in, my hair was wet. There was like hairspray, like burning my eyeballs. And I was like, brought my head up. And this little kid just lifted his head and was like, hello. And I was like, you little
yeah.
So it traumatized me.
And you can't relax. Like, I'm trying to relax on holiday.
Just in case. You never know.
Just in case. So then I always go in and I'm known in the family for like never really going in the pool unless I'm really, really, really hot. Like, I'm always like, Dad, you go in the pool. You can go. You go.
Okay, so we've got from Heather on Instagram. Thanks, Heather. Hi, ladies. Hi. I thought I'd share a parenting fail with you. A few months ago, I took my kids to a friend's house for a haircut. She's converted her garage into a home salon, which is just around the corner, so that's a win. That's amazing. As my kids hadn't seen her for a while and would be the first time visiting her new salon, naturally I thought they would be really excited to see her. Nothing was to prepare us for their entrance, as my son, who's 9, shouted out whilst crossing the threshold, Mummy's friends are allowed to look at her private parts. It took me a couple of minutes to work out that he was referring to the time I had no childcare and school holidays and had to take them with me for an intimate wax.
Oh, God.
I made them both stand facing the wall at the head end while my friend Gemma, who also has a home salon, got to work.
Oh, no.
That sounds like something
How do you even explain that? Because, like, oh, my God, the poor, what was her name? Heather?
Yeah.
Oh my God, bless her.
That's brave as well, getting
That's
your
really
fanny waxed.
brave, because... Yeah. How would kids understand that? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing to yourself? I mean, that might be a core memory of like...
I have a really embarrassing story about an intimate hair removal.
Oh, God.
So, God bless her. My granny died a few years ago and she left a little bit of money to me and a little bit of money to my brother. So I thought, like my granny said, you do something for you. Yeah. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to get my lasered. So I paid for the whole everywhere to get lasered.
Nice.
I'm still going through it. Now, I don't know if anyone's had that lasered before.
No.
But it really hurts.
Does it?
And you have to get on all fours and they're like singeing your sphincter. They are, and it's like, and you've got these goggles on. And
goggles on?
Yeah, because the bright light, it goes on, it burns, but it's great, obviously. I don't even know if I've got a hair asshole, but...
I think everyone has a hair.
I was laid face down with my head like this on the bed with these goggles on, like
what, doggy style?
Yeah, literally doggy style, with my arse in the air. And this woman singed me, and I thought, if my granny saw me now, that she's just left this money to me,
proud.
And I'm getting my lasered, I just it's like she'd be so disappointed in me.
No, that's a brilliant thing.
But yeah, it's quite painful.
So I actually did get lasered before I had kids.
Yeah.
And then I found out that it grows back when you're pregnant. So that was one of the, so
Really?
I was getting everything lasered and I went back and I was like, it's growing back. And the lady said to me, are you pregnant? I was like, no, of course I'm not pregnant. But I was.
Really?
I didn't know. Yeah. Speaking of hair salons, we're kind of going into knit season.
Yeah.
When you get those dreaded text messages from your school WhatsApp, someone in your class has head lice, so please check your children. So my kids needed a haircut, and I checked their hair, and they did have nits. So I did the whole treatment. I did that before we went to the hairdressers. But of course, my youngest, who hated getting the nit treatment done, we did it. It was quite traumatic, but we did it. And then I took her to the hairdressers to get a haircut. And the first thing she said when we walked in was, "We've got nits." And it was like a scene out of, in the old school, like Western movies where you kind of go into a saloon and like the doors flap around and everyone just like looks at you. It was like that. And I just basically left immediately. I was like, no one's going to, and I was like, we don't have nits. We did it. And I think they were like, get out.
You scruffy family. Can I ask you a question? I don't want to jinx myself.
Yeah.
Touch wood, because I'm really superstitious. So my kids haven't yet had nits. How do you know if they've got nits?
Oh, you know.
How, like what?
Scratching. If you're brushing hair, washing hair, you'll see them. But generally the scratching.
And you use that little comb, don't you? I remember that.
It's really vile.
And then you have to put the treatment.
Yeah, it's vile.
My kids will have nits next week because I've just...
I think it's amazing that but there are shampoos and conditioners that like there's certain smells that nits don't like. I think tea tree oil is one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
My 7-year-old's still got cradle cap.
Really?
Yeah. On his head, it's really like hard and crunchy, so we have to keep using like stuff to get it off. But when the bits come off, the dry skin, it pulls the clumps of hair out, doesn't it?
Yes,
it's awful.
It does. Yeah, I've got to say the whole nit combing. I'm actually quite happy for you that you've not gone through it yet. I'm quite jealous. During lockdown, we had it 3 times. I'm like, we're not going anywhere. What is happening? I think it's because when you do have nits, you have to change everything. It's like it's your own pandemic. You need to change the bed sheets. You need to steam clean everything. Cancel play dates. You have to let people know we've had nits.
Like the barbers, the hairdressers,
everyone,
the whole family. Yeah. We're riddled with it.
We went away. We went away with another family, and all the kids were like, all the boys were like sharing beds. They love like a sleepover. And then when we got home, I got a message saying, "Just so you know,
oh no,
all my kids have nits. So yours probably have it now." And you're like, why didn't you know that before you came? And that's what I find really annoying. It's like you've just passed on nits, and it is a stress. It is a stress because you have to kind of actually really do the whole treatment a few times to really get rid of them.
Yeah.
My eldest son now has a bit of a skinhead, like a buzz cut.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah. So
because he just doesn't get them anymore.
It's amazing how quickly like things can pass. It's like Impetigo. My friend, when she started shaving her legs, she borrowed her brother's facial razor. She was shaving away, had a great time, nice and smooth. She didn't realise she actually had Impetigo on her leg. And her brother shaved his face the next day. Literally, his whole face was covered in Impetigo.
Oh my
And he was
God.
like, "How has this happened?" And my friend was like, "Oh, Mum." Imagine that. And he's there. He had to go to college covered in.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's crazy how like kids just spread. They all just lick everything though, don't they?
They lick everything, yeah.
It's like
they'll lick balls from like soft play that's like covered in all sorts, but they won't like lick broccoli. They won't eat it. And it's like, anyway. Talking of shaving legs and stuff, I guess you wouldn't know because you're lasered up. But I sometimes use my husband's razor for my parts.
Yeah.
And I don't tell him about it. And then he's like, "Did you use my razor?" No. He doesn't listen to this podcast, so he'll never know.
As you there.
Yeah, it was me. Anyway, moving on. This is anonymous. My husband was picking up our youngest son from school when he was in year 2. As he waited in the playground, the teacher called him over and asked if she could have a quick word. Uh-oh. Our son was usually good as gold, so he couldn't understand what she could possibly want him for. She explained in class that day the children had been asked to come up with a family motto. Now, being a Catholic school, most of the children would have said things like kind and caring, loving and giving maybe. What could he have possibly said? She started to laugh when my husband asked for our son's response. Healthy and drunk. He couldn't have been more accurate if he tried. We like to keep fit in the week and have a drink at the weekend. We knew the teacher personally from the football club. So a few weeks later, we invited her to our house for a party. She ended up crawling across our hallway to the loo. Welcome to the family, we said. All in moderation.
You find us on a Friday as a parent. We used to be maybe go out on a Saturday and have a couple of drinks. But on a Friday, I'm like, I've made it through the week. Like, I'm so proud of myself. Yeah. I'm going to have a really large glass of wine. Yes. But you know the glasses you can fit a bottle in?
Yes.
Just have one of them. Just a little one. Okay, so I've got another one from Anna on Instagram. My son goes to nursery during the week, and shortly after he joined, it was coming up to Mother's Day. The nursery decided to hold a brunch and invite the mums in for a safe play. It's not going to be safe in a nursery though. You'll all come out hives later. Right, the nursery decided to hold a brunch and invite the mums in for a stay and play. Ahead of the event, they asked us to send in pictures, so I did. On arrival to the brunch, I saw lots of lovely pictures of other mums and their toddlers, colouring, reading a story, you get the vibe. Then I realised by mistake I'd misunderstood the assignment. I sent a picture in of me by myself at a friend's wedding with a glass of wine in hand. I couldn't even pretend it wasn't me, as it was my face. Fast forward to this year, and we're very much clearer on the photo request of sending a picture of the mums with their child. Oops.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
That's
like
so
that.
good. It's like,
I like that. That's the kind of thing I would do, actually. I like that.
And especially at a wedding, because you always get absolutely smashed. Because usually friends will be like, don't bring children to the service. Yes. So then you're like, oh, can't take the kids. And then you when they give you that drink, like the first drink after the service, you're like, woo, that went to my head. And then if they keep going round again and you get a second one, you're like, I haven't eaten anything.
Well, there's a big gap between the first drink and then the actual sit-down meal. There's actually usually, because there's all that time for pictures and mingling. So, people
I hope she was absolutely sozzled in that picture.
I really hope so. I think that's brilliant. I feel like we could be friends, Anna.
Yeah,
I like that Anna very much. Right, so now this is Hannah from Instagram. Okay, here we go. Hiya, I've just listened to you talking about the dreaded class soft toy. Oh, yes, that sodding bear. I am so not here for that, but my daughter was well excited when it was her turn and it would be the weekend. We had planned to fill a skip in prep for a house. Sorry, oh my God, I can see where this is going. It was our turn and we had planned to fill a skip in prep for a house move 4 weeks later. I was so sick of seeing all the sweet mums writing about how Colin, this toy, had spent time with everyone else. I wrote ours like a really TripAdvisor review. The following day, I have 4 teachers stop me in the school run to say I've made their year and hadn't laughed so much. Oh. That's genius. I love that. I kind of wish I had done that because it is...
Colin.
That's
a teddy, Colin. So we had to take the toy to the teddy on holiday. But I haven't written in the book yet. So in my head, I was like, I'm going to get loads of pictures of this mouldy, rotten bear with like empty bottles of gin and stuff. But then I'm like, I can't write that in the book. But obviously she did. What a legend. She did.
And the fact that people like it. And it's just refreshing, isn't it? It's just a bit like, thank you. Because as we said before, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Printing out pictures.
Yeah.
Making it look like you've done something really good with your
but
child.
Not losing the toy.
And not losing it. And that, for me, that's the biggest stress. It's like, don't lose this. Or the book.
Yeah.
The book that's had months and months and months of other people with which looks like a perfectly prepped book.
Oh, Colin had a great flight. Didn't. You're with 3 kids. Your husband's 5 rows back. You've had a holiday and you just wanted to get home.
I love it.
Like, where's Colin? Yeah. Where's Colin?
TripAdvisor review. I think we need to see a picture of that, Hannah. If you're listening, please DM us and send a picture of that because that sounds absolutely brilliant.
Or anyone that's written in the book. I'd love it if they could send what they wrote in the book. If someone's done it really, maybe for the next podcast, I should read what I'm going to write in the book because I need to do that this weekend because they said to me the other day, have you got the teddy? Can you bring it back? Oh, God. And I was like, oh, I have, but I actually made a reel with the teddy. and some of the nursery workers do follow me on Instagram. I was like, oh, this rotten flea-ridden teddy. We've got to write what we're having a great holiday and we're not. And I'll go back like, oh, we had a wonderful time.
What's the name of your bear?
Is it? I had to message them. I think it's Harry. Harry the Hedgehog or something. It's flea-ridden, and Annabelle went to put it in her mouth. I was like, no, that has never been washed. That's got nits. No.
Oh,
let me tell you.
It's got everything. It's got Impetigo.
Yeah.
Bad stuff.
Right. Okay, we've got another one. Natalia from Instagram. I kept a couple of my twins' old toddler toothbrushes for cleaning purposes. You know, slime and grime in the shower plug and crevices. I had left one drying with a cloth in the sink, and I'm sure you can guess where this is going. We're all going,
oh God, yeah.
My daughter comes down later that evening, she's about 8 or 9 at the time, and says, oh, Mum, I used my old toothbrush. How come you left it there? She'd been using an electric brush for years. I've no idea what made her think she should use that one. Cue panicked Googling of the effects of cleaning teeth with mould-infested brushes. Anyway, she's now 13 with no teeth. She's now 13 and doesn't appear to have suffered any ill effect as far as I can see.
Oh God, the panic.
Can you imagine the products that you, like all the foot juice that's at the bottom of the sink?
Oh no, don't.
And
but why pick up that toothbrush?
But here's a good question then. We have, I would say, about 30 toothbrushes just scattered around my house. We don't have 5 toothbrushes in the bathroom because my kids take the toothbrushes and put them under the bed, in the bed. My 2-year-old is obsessed with toothbrushes. Every time I go to Tesco, I buy a new toothbrush. And I go every other day.
That gets expensive.
Yeah. And like, do you not do that? Do your kids just have one toothbrush? No.
No, we don't. I tell you what toothbrushes we do have, and this has been absolutely brilliant because the whole toothbrushing experience can be really stressful, especially when they don't brush or they pretend they are or they bite on it. Or I find toothbrushing can be really stressful. But there is a friend told me about this. It's an electric toothbrush. I think it's by Panasonic or something, and it comes with an app, and it's for kids, and it is a bit annoying that you have to use an app, but the app is it's like these little characters, like cartoon characters, and they're brushing your teeth with you. Yeah. And the kids love it. And so it's like 2 minutes, and they show how you brush your teeth properly, and you get everything off. And the toothbrush is really cool. They're electric, and I've got to say, it's changed our toothbrushing experience. Not an ad, even. Like, this is pure like.
But it's anything to get your kids to brush their teeth.
And then they get like rewards at the end, and they're like, they collect the points. And honestly, it's changed our toothbrushing experience. It's absolutely brilliant.
Because there's one, I think it's called Cubby Buddy, a dentist called Hannah. She was on The Real Housewives of Cheshire, which I love that programme. And she was trying to get her kids to brush their teeth. Yeah. And this one is a song where it's like, do the top, do the back, and you sing it. And obviously at 4:00 in the afternoon, I'm singing the Cubby Buddy song because it gets stuck in my head. But it's like anything that you can do to get your teeth to get your kids not to go brush it. And I'm like, you don't want dog breath at school. Nobody needs morning breath, so just brush them properly. Yeah. Do you get your kids to floss as well?
What, the dance? No, but I do say that because I did go to the dentist with the kids, and
did you pretend?
Was like,
oh yes, we floss every day.
No, the dentist was like, do your kids floss? Exactly what you said, and no word of a lie. My kid got up and went, yeah. And I was like, I don't think it's that kind of floss, babe.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. But we will be doing that. But no, I do want to get them into flossing.
Yeah.
Why do yours?
So they have these little picks. Yeah. And they started off, and I was showing them how to do it off using this app. And next thing, I find they've got some sellotape, and they've been making little, like, they've stuck them all together to throw at each other with these little floss sticks. So no, they don't, but they should.
I do want to get them into flossing, but I didn't floss as a kid, did you?
Not when I was younger, but I remember my granny used to floss, and we'd just have like a Sunday dinner, and we'd have had like roast beef, and she'd sit and talk to us, and she'd get her floss out and like fling it, and I'd be like, oh, sorry,
that's
granny.
Disgusting. Oh no.
And I was like, let me tell you, granny, in 10 years, with your inheritance, I'm going to be getting my soul lasered.
If you've enjoyed today's episode, chuck us a thumbs up and maybe even a review. It really helps us grow.
And don't forget to subscribe to No Parental Guidance on YouTube so you don't miss any of our questionable life advice.
We'll be back next week with more parenting fails, survival hacks, and stories that prove none of us have a clue. Until then, good luck out there.